Welcome back, gamers. This is the Gamer Respawn podcast again with your host Wolf Flow, and I got a nice gang of gamers right here with me. And let's introduce everybody. Go ahead, AG.
What up? This is your boy AG the God, aka Absolute, the fighting game guru. I'm on the Gamers Respawn podcast with my boy Wolf. Let's go. Let's get it in.
And we got Bear Hugger.
What's going on, everybody out there in YouTube land? I'm your fat fucking slop boy, Barrier29. I'm glad to be here again. I missed out last week's, and that sucked ass, but whatever. I'm here now, so let's do this shit.
Awesome.
Is that good enough for an intro for you?
That was good enough. It wasn't your best performance, but you've done better.
I gotta be drunk for that.
And Zero.
Hi, it's Zero Inc. Always representing the Kickshaw Brothers. We're that neutral gaming channel that you guys all love, covering all news from all different consoles, and we just love gaming, guys. So yeah, this is the Kickshaw Brothers.
Nice.
Okay, Maurice.
Maurice Charles. That's Maurice Charles at YouTube.com. Excited to be with all of y'all today. We're going to keep it gaming. We're going to open up some conversation. It's going to be a good time.
Oh, yeah.
Always. And we got Thuggy here today. Glad you could join.
We got Thuggy in. Snikes.
That's my boy right there.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Blakey Flesh. Thanks to Willow. Sorry, I forgot your name, but
That's cool, man.
my bad. Yeah, thanks for letting me get on the podcast.
Man, I'm glad to have you. And before I get on to it, I do want to give a shout out to the usual people, Justice, and he wanted his buddy. I think it's Frank. Oh no, sorry, man, I can't remember your name right now on top of my head. But weird. But yeah, just anybody else that normally joins. Sorry, I had a lot of people here now, and I just couldn't get to you in time. So I'll definitely try and get you guys in next week if I can, and we'll keep it going, man. Keep mixing it up. But right now, yeah, let's talk about some games. Why don't we start with AG, A to the G? What are you playing, man?
Well, I've been playing a couple of games, you know. First was that, God, that it's a complicated damn name. Under Night
In Birth.
EX Late. AKA random ass anime bullshit. I've been playing a little bit of that, you know. I had to get back into my Marvel vs. Capcom 3 for a little spell. And I was also playing a little bit of Persona 4 Ultimax.
Nice.
As well as Dragon Ball Z. I got to the point I got like 380s in that game now.
Damn.
So, Under Night in Birth, whatever it is that pretty easy for someone like me who doesn't play a whole lot of fighters as of late, and I'm not familiar with all the, combining, I guess combinations, but like all the timing and everything?
Yeah, I'd say just like with Persona Ultimax, all else fails, just press square to do some cool shit.
Oh, yeah? Oh, wow.
The combo.
That's pretty killer, man. You know what? I just heard about a character that they added to Killer Instinct, and man, I'm jealous I don't have an Xbox One right now.
I'm about to play the fuck out of that damn character. Or something like that. Man, I've been waiting for that one because they had that one come out like maybe showed the reveal of about 2 weeks ago, and then they showed it on the live stream. Man, that's my type of character too, because she plays a lot like Bacon off of Guilty Gear, where she's basically a walking alpha counter.
Give you nightmares.
Is that Orchid? You talking about Orchid?
No, it's a new character coming this month. It's almost like the little girl from the Rings as a fighting character.
Ono on? Yeah. And she does like she's all like twitchy and stuff. I heard like in the horror movies. That's crazy.
Yep. Yep. It's funny what they can implement in games nowadays, right? I mean, they're putting in. I mean, even the new Mortal Kombat should have Predator and all these all these other movie characters. So it's nice that they're implementing a lot of different movie.
Yeah, if they do it right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That is
Soul
cool.
Calibur, I thought they did that really well, just like implementing like a bunch of other characters into that franchise. Like in particular, Soul Calibur 2. Like for Nintendo, they gave us Link. For Xbox,
Oh,
I
yeah.
believe they
Yeah.
gave y'all like Darth Vader at a time. That was
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, wasn't Darth Vader on the PS2? Wasn't Spawn on the Xbox?
hmm
Yep.
I also like how they kind of did a whole story mode like that. You'd go through and you'd actually have to progress through the story a certain way.
Yeah. That shit
The
was
map. That was cool. So
Actually, I think for 3 it was like Star Wars themed. 2 it was like Hiachi for PlayStation. Spawn, you were right there, Harvey. Spawn for Xbox, and then
Yeah.
Nintendo.
Yeah, because I think Yoda was in the GameCube one, right?
On the Xbox 360.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the 360 little
3 didn't come to
Yeah.
Nintendo.
lightsaber.
So is that about it?
Yeah, that's it for me. I got that Deadpool game because you can't get it anymore like on the online store and stuff. But I haven't popped that in yet.
Yeah, they pulled it off because of licensing problems or some shit, right?
Yeah.
The contract.
Yeah.
Yeah, once Disney
that.
got Marvel.
Ah, that's right. Yeah, it wasn't development before Marvel got snagged up. What a load of crock.
You know, we always want what we can't have, man. Now I definitely
Yeah,
want.
I know.
You know what
It's
makes me
freaking
so
case.
pissed off about that right there?
Hmm.
Is that once they did it, it took away Marvel vs. Capcom. The whole series. We'll never get that again.
Nope.
But now we got shitty ass goddamn mobile Marvel fighting games.
What was your favorite Marvel vs. Capcom? Ag.
3 actually.
Okay.
It's not. I mean, I used to play in Love too, but I just like the feel of 3. It's a little bit faster, and then it looks better than them damn ugly ass sprites they kept reusing.
So what about you, Bear Hugger?
What have I been playing?
Yeah, man.
Oh shit. Well, I've been playing a lot of freaking Splinter Cell lately for the Wii U.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm glad I picked that up because the online servers now are actually working. Thank fuck for that. So I'm looking for people to play that with. I had a copy of Assassin's Creed 3, but I temporarily got rid of it for right now. But I'm getting it again digitally. But I got 4 digitally wise because I had a bunch of friends like, yeah, game's amazing. So I downloaded that. I pretty much basically played like the single player for all of like 10 minutes, and I went straight to the online because I wanted to see if there was anybody even playing the fucking online on the Wii U. Lo and behold, there actually is. But the online for Assassin's Creed 4 is addicting as fuck. I don't know what it is. I think it's just because it feels refreshing to be playing something that's not Call of Duty. If that makes sense. So it feels very, very diverse, very authentic to me. It feels different, and I like that kind of take on it. But yeah, surprisingly, still people actually playing the game online, shockingly. So that's a good sign. Then I re-load again because I played the shit out of that game. I've beaten it, but I still want to play it because I just love the atmosphere in that game. But hopefully, one that they're back on Thursday. Tipping Stars, Mario vs. Donkey Kong Tipping Stars. A weekly show off like my top 5 created user stages that people have made. Get that going and whatnot, and try to keep some love for that game, even though that game looks like shit. Dude, that game reminds me of Lemming. That pulls me to Lemmings, man. And I'm not sure if you guys remember that series. Remember Lemmings?
Yeah, man.
Okay, I was gonna say, I'm like, please tell me somebody in this room has this, man. Come on now.
Speaking of it,
Lemmings,
they had
Lemmings
a,
was a bitch, man. That game really your brain, man. On that shit.
I remember they had an awesome little mod for Lemons. It was like a DBZ mod.
What?
Hey, yeah,
Yeah.
real talk. Even the DBZ mod, you can play at
Dragon
Goku
Ball
and stuff,
mod.
and go Super Saiyan and all that.
Mhm.
That's crazy.
I can't imagine that.
Outside from that though, that's all I've really been playing. Just most of the online for those two games. Except like I said, Captain Toad. I do want to get around to playing because I did download a while back, but I haven't really started yet. Was Darksiders 2, the Wii U version of it. I want to get into playing that. I heard that game I heard was pretty good. Now that they're re-releasing it again for the current gen consoles for the definitive edition, whatever that means. Because I mean, clearly they're obviously gonna be making the third game. Clearly, because a new company took out the rights to it after THQ went under. Whatever.
Yeah.
Oh,
So that's gonna be an interesting game to see where that goes from there. But I am a little bit pissed though, man. That freaking Rock Band 4 was announced, and they're not bringing a Wii U version over at all. Period, unless we beg for it. And I can tell you one thing right now. I don't mind the Rock Band games. I mean, I like it for the karaoke purposes of it. But I'm be fucking damned to sit there and beg Harmonix to bring a goddamn game over to the Wii U.
Ain't
Fuck.
that the damn truth?
Yeah.
It is, man. It is. I think it's ridiculous, man. I don't think anybody in their right mind should have to sit there and beg for a fucking game. I don't think that should be the way it is. I mean, granted, yeah, the install base is not that very good for the Wii U. You know, there's no sugarcoating that. But at the end of the day, it's like if you're not willing to bring over a Rock Band game, I mean, it's sold like what was it like fucking like $1.5 million or something like that on the Wii version. Which is technically kind of shitty for an install base of like 120 million around that, or 110 or something like I think it was. But anyways, but no, I'm not gonna beg for a game. Kiss my ass on that. I'll just wait till I get my Xbox One or PS4 and I'll play it there and I'll just do some crappy ass karaoke and upload some videos to my fucking channel. I'll lose. I'll tell you one thing right now. That will definitely lose me some subs.
yeah.
Stop singing, you suck. All right, whatever.
Well, it's like me. I was watching the GDC, and I was like, damn, dude, Elite Dangerous is going to Xbox. Of course, it's going to Xbox first. Of course, But because I remember Elite. Do any of you remember Elite with David Braben? And I mean, it wasn't for everybody. One of my mom's friends had it on her computer. It was a Apple II, I believe. She had it on, and we used to go over there and play. Yeah. So Elite from David Braben. So when he said Elite Dangerous, I was like, damn it, because I know that's going to be a good game. And then of course, they got the Battletoads too in that Shovel Knight version. I was like, damn it.
Dude, I'll tell you one thing right now. When I saw that freaking trailer, when I watched it for the first time, I thought it was fake at first when I saw it on NeoGAF. And I clicked the link and I saw that little like montage video of all like the ID at Xbox thing, all the games coming out, like, whatever you want to call it. Shovel Knight was promoted, and then as soon as I heard that fucking theme song for Battletoads kick in, man, like I had like tears of joy come down my freaking face. And I saw like them jump out and seeing the Battletoad characters done in that style, like the way it looks almost like NES style, just like an HD wise.
Yep.
I lost my shit. I lost my shit, and I was like, thank you, Microsoft. Finally, Microsoft, now I don't have to worry about GameStop trolling us anymore. We don't have to worry about freaking them saying, oh, Battletoads will never be anything ever again. No, Battletoads is going to come back, and thank fuck for Microsoft for doing so. I give them a lot of props for that.
Yeah, they did give a little hint too, for anyone who didn't actually watch. They said, who knows where they'll appear again. So I think they're getting a standalone game.
Yeah,
I just
there is
think
going to be, and I guarantee it's going to be announced at E3 this year during Microsoft's press conference. Or if they even do a press conference, they might very well take the same route that Nintendo did.
Yep.
I've been hearing
There you
rumors
go.
about that.
Something like a Battletoads beat Double Dragon.
That would be amazing, dude. Just don't get the developers that made freaking Double Dragon Neo, because that game was just, oh god, I couldn't stop that game for 5 minutes, dude.
There you go, right there, man. If fanboys want some ammunition, stop ragging on people for having indies and cartoony-looking games.
Yeah, why
Be
brag?
proud of the ones that you get. Show them off.
Exactly. That's the only. I mean, I'm very, very cautious and concerned though about the install base for Sony and for Microsoft, because I have a funny feeling that when Shovel Knight does come out, I fear that game is definitely going to get severely ignored. Which to me is kind of a tragedy, because I mean Shovel Knight definitely deserves the praise that it deserves and gets, because that game is just that fucking good for an indie game.
Is it going free?
Was that sorry?
Is it going free on PlayStation at all?
No, it's going to be like the same price of what it is on the Wii U, but there is like free content that's coming out and everything else like that, which will be there day one when the Sony and Microsoft versions launch. But I mean, I'm worried that people are just going to be like, I don't want this. This game looks like shit, and they're going to fucking ignore it. You know what I mean? And to me, that's not the way to go about it, because I think 90% of these indie titles that do come out that are actually really good ones, like SteamWorld Dig or Steam Heist, whatever the case may be, they get shat on. You know what I mean? Or people will download it, it becomes free, but they won't pay physical money for it because the game is not worth the investment. And to me, that's bullshit. I think indie developers deserve the time and effort that they put into their games. End of story.
Yeah, I can't wait to have trophies for that.
Yeah, see, my whole thing is, even though I was like, who am I echoing it?
Yeah, someone has it on in the background, I think. Yeah.
The thing for me is, if I want those games, I'm gonna go out and get them. You know, I'm gonna go get.
I think that's you with your feedback, bro.
Hmm.
Is it me?
No, I think it's Marsalis because I'm seeing his little thing go up and down anytime when somebody talks.
Oh, okay.
Me?
Yeah.
It's
You
you.
got echo coming from your end, dude. We can hear ourselves on your end.
Is that better?
Hello? Yeah, it's better.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
But the thing for me is like, if I want Xbox games, I'm
Still
gonna go
echo.
get an Xbox.
Yeah, actually, we can still hear it, dude. We can still hear it, man. Sorry, dude.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if you want an Xbox, if you want
There you go.
different
No, you're
games,
good.
you gotta
You're good.
have
Yeah,
more than
you're
one
good now.
console. It's good to have more than one.
Well, you know, I mean, it's I don't get the whole console wars because if you want it, go out and get it, man. There's no real issue there. Like for me, I'm like, even with Dave, I was like, look, I'm gonna go get a Nintendo. Hold on, this is
Unmute.
feedback is.
I'll just
Hold on, I
mute
think he's
it.
going to get his headset, I think. Sorry about that, Marsalis, man. But it is what it is, man.
The feedback's killer.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Intermission brought to you, Parpie.
Hey, it happens.
It does, yeah. Because he was fine he was fine a little while ago, so.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right. So yeah, there you go. Now you can unmute yourself there, Marsalis, man. Go ahead and unmute yourself, bro. Unmute yourself.
Okay.
Oh,
So anyway, I'm like, I even told Dave, I was all, you know what, because he asked me a good question. I love Dave. Don't get, he asked me.
Are you serious?
all right, I'm muting him again. We're muting you until it's your turn, bro. Hold up. All right.
Yeah, Marsalis, yeah, you're gonna have to keep yourself muted until it's time for you to talk to, because it's still coming through, man. It's not going through your headset.
Okay.
You may have to change it up on your little settings there on Google
Yeah.
Plus, man.
So anyway, I told Dave, I go, you know what? I don't mind Nintendo being my secondary console this gen. You know, I don't really mind it. I don't know why people mind it so much because I really don't have time for two primary consoles. So I can
Yeah.
understand where, everyone has their preferences, but it's your preference, guys. It's
Exactly.
not, it's not really, oh, this is, it has to be this console. If it's not this console, we have a problem with you. Or if you're not gaming on our console, there's a problem with that. At the end of the day, it's your preference. It's where your friends play. It's where you've been playing. It's your default console. There are so many reasons why you would get a console like that. So I don't mind Nintendo or Xbox being a secondary console to me. I just know that if I want the games, I'm going to go get them. If I want the console, I'm going to go get it. There's no, and I realize not everyone can do that, but don't get on people for the preferences is all I'm trying to push that mindset, because you can't really blame people for liking something other than yourself,
But see, the funny thing
Exactly.
is, well, so when people say that they can't afford two consoles, man, but yet, if you go back and look at last gen, people had no problem buying the Wii along with like either the 360 or the Wii and the PS3. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It seems like, so what changes now? You
Yeah.
know, like the systems are way more cheaper than they were last generation. So I don't understand that whole entire mentality when people sit there. I mean, from the Wii's perspective, I can kind of get it because there's not a whole lot of content that gamers want on that system. A lot of people may not like Mario, or a lot of people may not like Donkey Kong, or whatever the case may be. So like, right now, the only thing that's going for that system right now is like Bayonetta, Smash Brothers, Mario Kart 8, and maybe like Splatoon and Xenoblade definitely being one too as well, and Star Fox and whatever you want to call it. But a lot of people will they'll buy that system as soon as the price drops down to $250. Because like right now, on like, even if you go look at like the Nintendo's website right now, they have a refurbished one right now for $225. Comes with everything except for like the charging dock, but you still get the actual charging cable cord that you plug into your wall, which like plugs into the top of your gamepad. But for $225, you get like 3D World, along with Nintendo Land for $225. Can't go wrong with that. Yeah, it's refurbished. A lot of people, I don't like refurbished. Look, this is coming directly from Nintendo's actual factory company, whatever the hell you want to call it.
Yeah.
I've seen screenshots of people who bought one. Bought like the original version that was $200 that just came with Nintendo Land, and it looked brand spanking new, like it's never been touched before.
Yeah.
And all they do is they replace all the parts, brand spanking new. So you're basically getting a brand new system, but it's refurbished. They have to label it as refurbished. So, but I seen a comment yesterday because there was an article I saw of somebody actually promoting that because Nintendo hasn't done it themselves, so it's kind of bullshit that they won't advertise that publicly.
Yeah.
The thing is, I saw the most ridiculous comment, and it was just from like and that's the reason, and that's what actually led me to making the video that I put out today for my rant, talking about why do you care what consoles we play on?
Yeah.
Because this guy was sitting there saying that, even for $225, it's still not worth the actual price range because the system is half on par to what the PS3 and the 360 is, blah blah blah. Even proven to be not the case numerous times now. But he's basically saying all this crap just run freaking out as what put there, and I can't stand that mentality when comes to an individual.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, people on the internet are just looking for something to talk about. And
well, it's like
what's the fuck?
A lot of them wouldn't even play the games if they came to the console.
Well, it's like
that's the sad reality of it, man.
It's like okay. I say this though, guys. Okay, AG, you play your preference is Xbox, right? Right. Yeah. Okay. Even though I'm jealous of the games that he gets, that's not my problem with AG. Like, I have no problem with AG. I mean, I have no problem with him at all. Okay, yeah. I might have a problem that something doesn't come to my console, or I might have a problem that, but keep it with the console. Don't attack someone personally for their personal preference is basically all I'm getting at,
I think just we need to tune certain people out. If we don't like it, then we're just gonna be dragging ourselves down by paying attention to it. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's just it's not healthy.
Debacle too as well. When you look at it from the perspective of a game, I mean that's been a debacle that's been going on since the 20th of February when that game launched. All the reviews came out. It was like no. The only reason why they're freaking out is because that is a first-party exclusive game to Sony. If that was a third-party game, no one would have fucking said a goddamn word about it. No. Now I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, look, I said, how many times have we seen games across all three platforms, Nintendo, Microsoft, and including Sony, that have come out and have gotten mediocre reviews? Look at Knack. No one said a fucking word about Knack. Look at Destiny. No one said a word about Destiny. But why this game? So then, the more I thought about it, I was like, you know what? They're just pissed off because a game that they overhyped, that they hyped up at the galore, and for good reason too as well, because the game looks stunning. The game came out flat. A lot of reviewers fucking care their opinion on it, which again is just their opinion. Because most people think that journalist reviews should be fucking weighed on amongst everyone, or top-notch shit. You know what I mean? Everybody should take their word over their friend's word, or even their own gut feeling. And to me, that's not because they get paid for a fucking review. No. If you want to buy the game, go out and support it. Support it.
Yeah.
You make enough money off of it to make a sequel. Developers at the end of the day can sit there and fix the corrections that all these journalists and amongst gamers themselves had about the shortness, about the lack of gameplay, the lack of replayability and whatnot. They're going to fix that in the sequel. Problem fucking solved. Because this is a developer that this is like their first big AAA title. Because remember, these are the people that made ports to the Vita or something like that, or they created games to the Vita or some shit. So give them a benefit of the doubt.
And
that kind of shit.
If you enjoy the game, that is really what matters. And if other people don't, then that's just their whole problem. If they miss out on the game, I mean, you enjoyed it. That's your experience. They can't take that away from you.
Yeah. Oh, and AG, I do want to know whether Battletoads is good on Shovel Knight, and I do want to know, get me hyped for the Xbox, dude, because I'm going to be getting it later this year. So.
I'm trying to. One later this year too as well. I'm doing everything. I don't care if I have to play hooky for a night. I will. Not literally.
So what else have you been playing though, Kickshaw?
Oh, what have I been playing?
Yeah,
oh man. Let's see. I'm back on Warframe because I had a couple friends that need help with a couple of my frames on Warframe, so I'm back on Warframe. I've been playing Blacklight Retribution on and off. Dragon Age still takes up most of my time.
I need
that dang game, dude. Oh my gosh, man. I'm at what 60 hours, and I don't think I have the second trophy for the second level yet because I've been running around doing all the side missions and stuff. So yeah, that game takes a whole lot of my time. But I am gonna be playing Abe's Odyssey too.
Excellent. The remake?
Yes, yeah, the new
Hell
and tasty. Yeah.
I
Fuck
heard,
yes.
I watched a great reviewer on here. His name's Matthew Matosis, whatever. He's right on the side of my page, and
Uh-huh.
he did a review of the Abe's Odyssey and compared to the original game, and you'd be amazed what they actually stripped out of the game from the original. They
Yeah.
actually kind of did it some injustice, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
From what
Well,
I
yeah.
hear.
Well, the original was such a classic, and you know when you do remakes, which is why the Toe Jam and Earl game that's I'm hoping it got funded. I'm hoping it's going to get funded. I'm hoping it comes, but I'm a little worried about because when you do that, it's hard not to do the original an injustice. It really is because they're
Yeah.
such classic games,
Yeah.
and at the time you got to understand gaming wasn't everywhere. So when gaming's not everywhere, they have to try harder to make you notice the games. You know, like now gaming's everywhere, so everybody loves games, everybody has their opinions on games, everything else. But back there when Abe's Odyssey first came out, it wasn't like that. So they had to put everything they could. You know, they threw everything but the kitchen sink at you. You know, I mean, so they had to at that point. And now I think a lot of developers are more lax. But I still think it's going to be a good game. I'm still looking forward to it. So you know, I mean, I got it. For those of you who don't know, it's on PS Plus for free download. So whoever hasn't gone and picked that up, go pick that up. I normally don't get I normally by the time they're free for me, I already buy the game. But this game I hadn't bought yet, so it's nice to see that they gave me something I hadn't played. You know, so.
Terrific. Excellent point, man. That's good. I guess I'm gonna ask Maurice. Let me unmute him.
Well, that's how you say his name, Maurice. I'm saying his name. I feel like a fucking fat ass right now.
Yeah, it's hard to get everybody's name.
Yeah,
We're
sorry
all
for
just
pronouncing your
new.
name there, Maurice, man. I'm sorry, dude. Shit, I'm an idiot. Hooked on phonics didn't work for me, bro.
I gotta let Maurice unmute himself because I can't do it. Oh, here we are. Oh, there we are. Nice.
We can't hear you now, dude. You have to unmute your microphone.
I did. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
hear you.
Yeah, I've been working on Mad World. Went back to Mad World
Ooh.
just because it's just one of those games where I just love to look at. Just kind of reminds me of that Sin City look, that noir look. And it's just like, the more I play it, the more complex I find out the gameplay actually is. You know what I mean? Like, it just takes like so much like complexity to actually pull off like a lot of the kills and whatnot. It's like one of those games that you can revisit and actually get better and better at, like pulling off your combos and everything. So I started jumping back into that. I have very little EA stuff on my Wii U, so I actually ended up playing a little bit of FIFA just to try and like see how they brought some of the gameplay controls over into the Wii U as a platform, like to see like how creative they wanted to get with the controls and whatnot. I kind of came up with the like consensus. It really isn't that bad of a game as I thought it would be. Like, I just picked it up at launch pretty much just because I was like, oh, the World Cup is coming up. I want to be able to find some people to play with and kick it with. Good, kick it. But it's definitely one of those games that I felt it just didn't get the appreciation that it deserved. Like,
What game is this?
FIFA got crapped on.
the FIFA. EA,
Oh, okay.
It's
EA 's
because
like
they're
copy
releasing
FIFA.
them every year, so people are starting to get a little aggravated. The way that they're not improving these games every year.
Yeah, like what they did for the last generation version of NHL. That really fucking made me want to punch somebody in the fucking tit.
Yeah.
And
Well,
the reality is we need more competition as far as that goes.
Yeah.
Do you think that 2K can like that? There's almost like a monopoly with the sports. And
Even
that
with
kinda
2,
drives me nuts because like with 2K,
Mhm.
like I can't stand them when it comes to the wrestling games.
Mhm.
Like I love the Aki style wrestling, but like when it comes to basketball, they they make a really, really good game. Or baseball, they make a really good game. And yet with EA, it's like I love the street games, but like when it comes to like something like the NHL, obviously, it kind of like probably lacks. And the most infamous one of them all being Madden, where they just basically copy and paste it and whatnot, and then they just put another $60 price tag on it, and then they just
So
expect.
go out and buy our freaking copycat game.
Yeah, it's like.
Well, I used to be an old sucker for Madden.
But the way
Hey, I
that
used to be the same way with
Every year.
NHL too as well, dude.
Hey, you know what? I gotta say it. I'm still a sucker for Madden. I still buy it every year. I don't know why I do it, but I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker, man. I understand, AG. I understand.
I do you one better. I used to buy the NCAA and the Madden every year. Like 6 years straight, no lie.
But it's like that's what kind of drives me insane, because it's like you're in between a rock and a hard place. It's like we're being held hostage here in this situation. It's just
We're like that for a lot of developers, though. You know, a lot of
Mhm.
developers do that stupid shit.
Yeah, I think it's annualized games, and which is why I'm a little worried. I don't think Forza is going to have the same problems because they always put out quality, but I don't know. Annualized games are just iffy for me. Some I'm okay with. Other games, like I don't see why they're making like Assassin's Creed annualized. Like to me, every 2 years was fine. Like I was fine with every 2 years or 3 years or whatever. I just don't get this push where everything has to be annualized.
I don't like it either.
I agree, but that being said, it's like we also give mixed signals, because when you mentioned Forza, the first thing that came to my mind is like Project Cars. It's like right now I've been waiting for a racing simulator, some form of racing game on my platform, a preference. And I was looking at that arcade racer. I'm like, oh, this is so awesome. It reminds me of Daytona on Saturn. This is gonna be so sick. And then nothing happens. Nothing comes of it. And then I looked at Project Cars, and I'm looking at like how well they can optimize it, how it looks good on every single platform that they've been showing footage for. But it's coming out, I believe, April 7th for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. But I'm like looking and skimming. I'm like, when is it coming for me? And like, it's like, am I going to get a screenshot? How do I know it's going to have some level of parity? So it's just like, here I am again. It's like I'm held ransom just to have an opportunity to race. So it's like make a decision now. Buy a PS4 within the next couple of months, or buy an Xbox One within the next couple of months, or build a PC within the next couple of months, or else you're done for.
Yeah, if you want that experience, you gotta go and get it. But
I need it. You know,
And you know what? But I will say this. I don't think you have to worry about Project Cars. The development team, I forgot who, they normally do a very, very quality job, and a lot of things. And not only that, Nintendo has their what is it? Their
seal of quality.
Yeah, they don't allow anything that's not quality on their system. So I wouldn't worry about it not being quality, because Nintendo is very, very good about that, about quality being put on their system. So I wouldn't worry about it. I think Project Cars is going to look great on all three, to be honest.
so it is coming to the Wii U.
Yeah. It's just
Oh, okay.
right now it's kind of like in the foreshadows right now. Why, I don't know. That could be something that Nintendo wanted them to do. That could be Namco Bandai, even though Namco Bandai is the one distributing the game. But keep in mind, though, they are close in hand with Nintendo. So Nintendo could have already just said, you know what, don't release this game anytime soon. Right now, we got a lot of big games coming out. Like, you know, even though people will look at Mario Party 10 not being a big game, that is sort of a big game for Nintendo. 'Cause that game does sell pretty well amongst the casuals. Maybe not so much the Wii U version, but you see where I'm going there. With like games like, you know, Splatoon in May, then you got with rumored, you know, with the date for Xenoblade coming out in the following month in June in North America, and then of course everything that's coming up after that. It's just like, holy shit, fucking goddamn.
Well, not only that, Forza 6 is coming out later on this year, right? So maybe they just want to compete with
That's what I'm thinking too. And,
Yeah.
and from everything, I mean, I've been, you know, even though we haven't seen any screenshots or any video footage of the Wii U version in motion, I mean, when that game does come out, am I still going to buy it? Yeah, absolutely. Just to support the actual company, to show them that, yeah, I do want third-party content on my system. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how you're going to vote for it, right?
Yeah.
It'd be cool if they actually used the Wii or the gamepad as a steering wheel too.
I'm sure they're probably going to do that. They're probably going to do that. I guarantee it. That, or I would love to have the option if they have at it like so I could use the second screen as a rear view mirror.
To be perfectly honest with you, I always thought I would like motion controls, but I just have not been able to get into the motion controls, whether it's the nunchuck or
I don't
it's
mind them.
that.
I like using them for specific titles like shooter games. I love it. I think it's a lot more accurate than using the analog stick. That's just for me. Sports games, like I played like that NHL Slapshot game that EA did release last gen, the hockey one, and it felt good using the motion plus being able to take like slap shots or wrist shots. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. But my biggest moment that I've had with the actual with motion gaming would probably have to be, believe it or not, with Tiger Woods PGA Tour 10, which is a game that I'm actually currently waiting on to come in the mail, actually, because I ordered that game a couple days ago. So I'm doing some gameplay for that soon because I fucking love that game because the way the motion works in that game, it feels so good. It feels so smooth, man.
I feel like it's not quite there with all of these yet, though, because I think it's because it's just coming from one source and it's missing points. So if it had like sensors all over the room kind of deal, I think it would do a better job of like actually.
Well, they are using like old ass technology, right? Like the IR sensor is really, really old technology. It works well for what it does, but it does have a lot of problems with it. But I mean, as far as like what the Wii U gamepad does, look, a lot of people shit on the gamepad, and for good reason, of course, absolutely for good reason. Me personally, though, I absolutely could not play the Wii U without it because, in my opinion, like when I play games like Assassin's Creed 4, for example, when I see the map, even though it's just a map, but it's very handy instead of me, like if I had a normal controller, I'd sit there and press start, go to map, and I have to browse around for certain things, and then make a waypoint, right? Whereas on the gamepad, just tap my fucking finger, boom, there you go, I have my waypoint going for me. Plus I can zoom in and out, and so I can see the whole area of the map, and I can see, okay, you know what, I have to get a treasure chest over here, I have to get a collectible thing over here. It's very convenient, and it feels more freeform. Nobody appreciates that. And of course, I understand as to why. I get that. But something like that, to me, I feel that it's it's a very, very handy method for me especially when I'm playing an open world game like Assassin's Creed 4, you know? So I like kind of shit like that. You know?
I loved it for Deus Ex. I loved it for Batman Arkham City. I just feel like it just gives you a little bit of variance. And same thing with Zombie U.
Speaking of Zombie U, though, that is one game that I feel that made use of the gamepad so well, and I wish there was another game that came out like that. In fact, I would kill for a sequel, even though we're never going to see that because Ubisoft's a bunch of assholes. But my thing of it is, though, like that was a game. Yeah, it had flaws, but the gamepad implementation though was fucking amazing for me because I like the fact how you're multitasking. You know what I mean? Like where most games you press pause, the game fucking stops what you're doing. When you play a single player, this game everything is still live on your screen. So when you're scanning shit, you're in real time. So if you have a zombie coming like from behind you, you have to look at both screens, and I like that because you have to multitask. And that's a better experience, at least for me as a gamer. I know a lot of people look at that and say, oh, it's fucking stupid. Why do I want to multitask? It's like, well, people do with their Xbox One when they're sitting there and they're watching their favorite TV show and gaming at the same time, right?
It gave me that sensation of survival, looking at my shoulder a lot more.
Yeah, and right now, that game, hands down, is by far the best zombie game I've fucking played for a very long time.
I think
you got it right. The atmosphere is perfect. The surreal atmosphere is just spot on, man. I love that fucking game.
You know, to be honest with you, I mean, I know this is kind of outside of, maybe it doesn't relate to gaming, but when you're when you have that gamepad, if you could have going at the same time, obviously it'd be hard for them to do this because of whatever, you have to have certain processing, but if you could have like your videos going right there instead of having to flip to the YouTube or to the browser, you can have it going right on your pad as you're playing, and you're watching the YouTube as you're playing the game.
You know, it's funny that you bring that up because I was just thinking about that earlier today when I woke up this morning. Like, I was sitting there looking at the gamepad. I'm like, shit, you know, it'd be awesome if I could sit there and watch a movie on Netflix on the gamepad while I'm playing a game at the same time.
Oh yeah,
that would be fucking dope. That would be amazing.
Multitasking for sure.
Man. Yeah, absolutely.
You could be watching our podcast while you're playing Zelda.
There you go. There you freaking go. Improvise.
AG, are you getting Ori? Are you getting Ori in the Blind Forest?
Ooh.
I'm still on the fence about whether or not I'm gonna get it.
That game looks beautiful.
That game looks amazing.
It looks beautiful and amazing, but normally I don't just buy platformers a whole lot. To be honest with you.
I never understood why so many people are scared, though. Not you, AJ. I'm just saying in general wise. Why a lot of people are scared of color. I don't understand that. Like, when did color become a huge issue now? It's like, why does everything have to be dark, gritty, brown, and gray? You know what I mean? It's like when you look at a game like Sunset Overdrive, I thought that was going to be a game that was going to fly off the shelves of the Xbox One.
It should.
It should have, but it didn't. It hasn't even I think it just barely, not even almost close to 1 million now. But what the fuck? Like every time when a game comes out that's colorful, it sells like fucking shit. But a game like Call of Duty or any game that's dark and gritty, it sells like Coda Candy Crack. I don't get it. I don't understand. It's like people have like this mentality. It's like if it's colorful, it's kiddie.
There's a
Sunset Overdrive proves that it's not a kiddie game. Like what the fuck?
There's a saying that kind of floats around. It's like, oh, I play video games because I want to escape reality, not because I want to be in reality.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
like,
for
okay,
whatever reason, some people think that like when things are real within the video game realm, it automatically associates with credibility. But like, I just feel like some of the more imaginative and fun gameplay mechanics are done throughout art styles. Like, when Wolflow showed me like Life is Strange, I'm like, that's a game that I'd buy the PS4 for. You know, like I kind of wish it wasn't episodic. I wish I could just like sit down and just play that beginning to end. You know, just get lost, like literally sit in my room. And just
okay, but you do have to realize there's a place for all that stuff. Okay, there's a place for QTE games. There's a place for point and click games. There's a place for dark and gritty. There's a place for. I like having the options. What bugs me is the fact that people don't seem to want to have those options.
Yeah.
You know, they seem to want to like make it to where it's just certain types of games, like either shooters or FPS. Like, and that's the big issue I have with the HoloLens is I see that being more of an FPS machine. It's like, and that's the main thing it's gonna be, or the virtual reality Oculus Rift. It's gonna be more for FPS rather than all these different options that we have presently.
Yeah, well, I mean, the virtual reality stuff, that's all fine and dandy to me. I really don't care for it because it's not at that point where it is full-on virtual reality. I'm talking like virtual reality in the sense like I have like a glove that's hooked up to a machine and I can sit there on with my hands. That's the virtual reality that I want.
Power glove.
I mean, what they're doing now is a step in the right direction. Don't get me wrong, it's cool.
Yes.
Unless it's Google Cardboard. That is fucking retarded. I'm sorry. I'm sitting there right now. Google Cardboard, that's a joke, and that just shows how much of a crappy-ass fucking gimmick virtual reality is going to be as of for the time being. But with what Valve is doing, Sony is doing with Morpheus, and what Oculus Rift is doing right now, that's all fine and dandy. But when it gets to that point in time where I can sit there and pop on like a glove, it looks like Michael Jackson's glove, hook up little things to it, and then start manipulating, like I'll be able to like go into a virtual reality game and grab a chick's boob.
Yeah, or play basketball one-on-one with
Yeah,
Anderson
exactly. Yes, absolutely.
It's not going to be there yet, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh, so what else are you playing, Maurice? We got a little off topic.
Honestly, the top two that I've actually been getting into this week. It's just a little bit of my FIFA, and then just like going back into Mad World, just because I wanted to just try something in my backlog, because I haven't really been taking advantage of my backwards compatibility. And like every now and then I keep on saying to myself like, oh, I'm running out of stuff to play, and then I'm just like so stupid. It just goes over my head. I'm like, there's always something to play. You know?
Yeah.
So.
Mad World is the freaking tits, man.
So is your buddy Next Wolf gonna talk about? Yeah.
Stuggy, do you want to unmute yourself? It looks like you're muted there. Let me see if I can.
Stuggy.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
I've been playing Dragon Ball Xenoverse Citizens of the Earth on 3DS.
That game doesn't look too bad, man. The new Dragon Ball game.
I think it's great.
The crazy thing about it, man,
tight, man,
as good as that game is, and what it got from the review from IGN was so damn low.
Oh,
it felt like a repeat of the order, but I just didn't want to.
Look, IGN is again, you can't spell friggin' ignorant without IGN, right?
It's the negativity, man. It's the negativity and people not wanting choices. Because to be honest, when I get my Xbox, the first thing I'm going to get is Sunset Overdrive. Okay, the first thing I'm going to get is a lot of the games that didn't sell as well as everyone thought they were going to sell. And the reason being is because I believe, like I said, Xbox has great games. I can't wait to play a lot of those Xbox exclusives. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just weird, but I just don't get this whole, put yourself in a box and not want to go out and get these different experiences, man. I'm weird
Yeah,
about that.
I can't subside to that as a gamer. I know a lot of people out there just prefer to stick to like one kind of genre or one sort of type of game. Me, I have to explore because I've always been that way. I was raised that way. You know, I've always rented so many games back as a kid, back when like renting was like a mainstream back then. And so yeah, I can't just sit there and say like I have to freaking play this game and just stick to that sort of
Yeah.
genre. I have to play all sorts, whether it be casual, whether it has to be hardcore, whether it be whatever. But again, casual and hardcore, that's a mixed topic. A lot of people have different opinions on that. Me personally, it goes based on if I can play this game at a casual level, like say like Tetris, or I can play Tetris at a hardcore level. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah.
Every game can be played that way. You know what I mean?
I
Call of Duty,
kind
for
of
example, is like one of the biggest, easiest games to get into. You can play it at a casual level, play a couple matches here or there, once or twice a week, or you can play it fucking religiously if you want to.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think the whole casual hardcore thing is how much you're putting into your games, really.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way I've always known it by, man. It's just like ever since like the middle of the seventh generation, it took off to a whole new definition of its own awkwardness, man. People look at it and say, "Oh, you're playing Mario? Ha, you're casual." It's like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
I've
you're playing
heard
Call of
that.
Duty, you're casual." What? I put 50 hours into that game. I'm like, so I put 38 hours into Mario 3D Land. What the fuck's your point, bitch?
Yeah, my view is if I ask you, about say 10 games, okay, and they're games that everybody knows, and maybe one out of that 10 and not very much. Like I'll ask you about that game, you say you're hardcore, about that game. I'll ask you about that game, and you can't tell me. Then yeah, you should expect to be called a casual by someone who does put that time in. But
Yeah,
that
yeah,
doesn't that's not a bad thing. Okay, being a casual gamer is not a bad thing. Like everyone takes it as a negative, but it's not a negative. It's just the way you play. It's just, you have players that put more into it and you have players that put less. And neither one is a negative connotation. Neither one should be used as a negative connotation, but I realize a lot of people get offended when you call them a casual. So, I've in recent years I've really I guess I don't really use the word all that much anymore because I realize people get offended when you say that, and for me, even though I don't see it as a bad thing, a lot of people who I talk to do see it as a bad thing. So I
It's
just
funny
gotta do
because
it.
I've always heard it was the opposite my whole life. Like if you were a hardcore gamer, you had no life. But anyways,
Yeah.
before we get too off topic, I do want to just ask Thuggy. I wanted to ask you a little bit about Dragon Ball Z, like what you like, what you think could be better, and what else were you playing on the 3DS again?
Citizens of the Earth.
Oh, okay.
How is that
Cool.
game? Like from Atlas, right?
Yeah, well, it's pretty good. It's interesting. Like it's a free demo out. Like that's when I got into it. Like the moment I first played the demo, it like caught my attention because it's like a retro type style
Like Earthbound.
RPG.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
So you're building relationships with different people?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you could recruit like different people, like citizens, but you gotta it's like you gotta do certain things before you can actually recruit them. Like for instance, it got a teacher for you to actually bring them along with you. You gotta like pass a quiz or whatever, or be smart, stuff like that.
Oh, okay, so everything you do makes a difference, kind of.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
Citizens of Earth, yeah, that's pretty much basically what it is. It's kind of like a spiritual
like
successor
the main
to Earthbound, yeah.
like the main characters you play with don't really fight. Like the people you actually recruit
Recruit,
are the
yeah.
ones who fight for you.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid game. I mean, for a game that's like, it's actually pretty big for a download, and it's published by Atlas Studios too as well. So,
Yeah.
yeah, surprisingly, it was a game that like a lot of people looked at and just said, meh. But like, people who have actually played it though are like enjoying the fuck out of it, man. From what I heard, so it's a pretty
Ah,
solid game, man.
I'll have to consider that one.
Yep. If you're a fan of Earthbound, then yeah, I definitely get it. 'Cause there's a lot of subtle nods to that game. That's part of that. And people have been wanting an Earthbound or a new Earthbound game for a long time, which we'll probably never see one. If they can manage to get the actual original developer to actually fucking fork over yet another project for that, but he already said, nope, there's not gonna be any more. Fuck you guys. It's like, whatever. I
Ask.
hate developers that do that shit, man. You know what I mean? Like you have a critically acclaimed success hit, and then you just sit there and say, "Fuck everyone else. I'm not doing anything."
Sony, make Legend of Dragon.
Oh, don't even start on
Don't
that.
even thought. Yeah, don't do that, dude. Don't.
I
don't
could go
fucking
on
do
for
that.
hours about Legends. Yeah, no, don't do that. Okay, Wolf, what are you playing? So we can move past
Guys,
that.
I have been wanting to tell you so bad what I've been playing.
Yeah, sorry, dude.
All right. So, first of all, I just randomly popped onto Pure Solar HD and Great Architects, and I finished that game. I got the bad ending, and I thought the bad ending was fucking great. So I wonder how good the good ending is. And I don't usually. I used to love like Final Fantasy VI was one of my favorite games of all time, but that type of battle system isn't my favorite type of battle system at all. Like, just picking and waiting turns. It's good to a certain degree, but when it gets a little bit, it does start getting repetitive after a while. Uh, that system, it did add a little bit more to it. It had like the whole charging up, and you had some more strategy that you could play around with. And once you got your strategies good, it really helped you out. Same time, not my favorite combat system, but the rest of the game kept me going all the way through.
That's
Solid,
what matters, and that's what counts, right?
beautiful game, and the music, oh yeah, big time. So I do want to actually check out the good ending. I want to see. Hopefully, I can get that. Then I picked up a new game. Well, not a new game, an older game. I picked up Wind Waker HD on the Wii U because I've been wanting to play some Zelda and I've been wanting to play some Wii U. And I saw this and I thought, ooh, this has got like the whole classic feel to it. And man, whew, this game it just really hits me,
Oh,
man. Like
okay. I
the
gotta
art
type these
style.
in. Shit.
It's a very I guess emotional. I don't know how to really. It kind of reminds me of. It has like I can't compare it to that game, but I'd say it's up there with Shadow Colossus type style,
Oh
and
wow.
maybe even above and beyond to some degree because it just has that whole going and
How does it feel to be a pirate,
discovering.
Wolflo? How does it feel to be a pirate? That's all.
And the open seas, the open world, I love it, man. And you never know what you're gonna find out. And I mean, like, I'm sure most people will know everything in it inside and out, but for me, it's just a new experience, just discovering things and just rediscovering Zelda too.
Excuse
The
me.
whole that whole lore. And I had a little bit of issues with the controls at some points, like this one part where the stupid platform and the stupid skull just kept knocking me off. It just kept wanting to target him, and I couldn't turn around. I'm like, stop targeting him. And then, oh, it wanted to fall off. Stop falling off. I don't want to jump off. And then one thing I really wish they had done is when you aim your camera at somewhere and then you press the button. Oh, I'll get to that in a sec. But when you press the button, it should. I wish it would lock on whatever your camera is on, not whatever direction your character's in. Because my camera is where I'm looking. That's where I want to aim. You know what I mean? When
Yeah.
I go to throw my boomerang, whatever it is, that would have been awesome.
Oh, God damn it.
But you get used to it, and it's not really a big deal. I mean, the controls are pretty solid. Like the game plays real well. It has good, especially. I've been playing it on the gamepad, so I really
Nice.
need to get a pro controller though. Um, the only, you know what really pissed me off though is like the word. It almost made it unplayable. Is whenever you click that L2 button, these two black bars appear on the screen. No, I'm just playing.
I think that's the retargeting.
It gives
Is
it
that
this
retargeting?
cinematic effect, but I don't know. Man.
It's almost like the focus. It's retargeting. It's that's what you basically use to like target onto an object, and then when you use the gamepad, it's more or less like a gyro as well. So
You're
it's like
focusing in.
yeah.
Yeah,
So whenever you're like you want to like hone in on an enemy, hit your Z target, and then you can jump back and forth with like the A, and like side steps and whatnot, and then you can swipe or whatnot.
yeah, no, it's fine. I mean, you get. I had no problem with that at all. That was the least of my problem. I mean, it just lets you know that you're focusing. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a wicked game. I just unlocked the what do you call it? The Master Sword. So I'm plugging away at it. We'll get there. It's a long game though. There's a lot of stuff to it. That's for
Yeah.
damn.
Trust me, I got Dragon Age, and then I got GTA 5 right after. So it's like two big
Ooh.
open world, full games, and I'm going, oh my gosh, dude, I'm never gonna get to my backlog. I have such a backlog of games right now that I'm just, oh, I can't get to them all. Oh, but I did want to talk about Blacklight Retribution. If more free-to-play systems were like Blacklight Retribution's free-to-play system, you would have a lot of happy people. The way they set it up is kind of like you get to play it daily, and it's based on how well you do. So, like if you play it daily, you get enough game points to play the next day, and then if you play it the next day, you get enough game points to play the next day, and you don't actually have to spend a dime unless you absolutely want to. And I think more free-to-play models need to adopt that to where it allows players to play to where they don't have to purchase
Yeah.
absolutely
So that's
everything.
basically free to play.
I don't know.
Right?
I mean, there's good and bad because you know they're going to try and take advantage too. And of course, gamers are going to be skeptical because they know that they're going to want a nickel and dime as much. It starts off, it's like the old Trojan horse, right? It starts off all good, they get you in, and there's a catch. That's the whole thing. They might be nice to you now. It's like, look at us, we're giving you all this DLC. We're awesome. They just want your money. Let's be real. But,
Woo!
Well, you know, I don't really mind the free-to-play model, but I just wish people wouldn't, like you said, nickel and dime you so much, especially the devs. You know, like the nickel and diming of the free-to-play model. Because if you remember back when they used to do MMOs, like Perfect World is the perfect example. I don't know if any.
Perfect Scam. I was on the best. I was part of Radiance. I helped found that guild. I was.
Yeah, you know, it's funny that you bring that up there, Kickshaw, because I actually my I had the game sitting over there, fucking like the actual retail one before I went free to play. That game, man. Although I will say though, out of any free to play game that I really truly miss is fucking Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 crafted so fucking well, man.
Yeah.
That's a good example of how to do free to play.
Guild Wars does it right.
Talking my language now. Oh my god.
Guild Wars 2 was the shit. Mesmer for life, bro. Mesmer for life.
Yo, I'm a guardian. Real talk, man.
It might be a different game, but it is kind of like a slap in the face to World of Warcraft in a way.
Well, you see now, the funny thing is now that World of Warcraft, they've drastically changed to the point now where you can actually for your account using. So people are gonna farm the crap out of that, man. They're never gonna have to pay for another goddamn fucking monthly subscription ever again. People.
Oh, okay.
Old.
Farm.
Like Coda Candy Crack. Those are people that have no life. Those are people that will literally go to a cafe, sip on a tea with their little pinky up in the air, and just farm gold for like 20 hours straight. And of course, some people will die from that, which is fucking retarded. But I'm just saying, it's like, what the fuck, man?
Oh, one more thing with Kickshot. You said you got a GTA 5 HD remaster.
Yeah.
Did you play the original, right?
No. I had a friend who was in the industry letting me know that it was going to come out on PlayStation 4, so I just waited.
Okay. So let me know next game that's going to get remastered.
Well, we already know what game is going to be remastered, man. They're still coming out with that shit. I mean, remember, we still had... Excuse me, sorry.
Basically every game.
Yeah. Man,
But
it's just I don't like the fact that it was so close. Like you had GTA 5, and then you had Last of Us, and then you had the remasters like that, and that bugs me. Like so, I was like I'm glad my friend stepped in and was like, because I was gonna buy them both. Like I have no problem. Like I bought a Last of Us on a PlayStation 3, and then I'm gonna have to buy.
It wasn't The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Final Destination 10.
Yeah, I had a friend who sat there and dick ride that game so hard, and then as soon as the PS4 version comes out, he's like, "That version is unplayable now." I'm like, it's the same fucking game.
Yeah.
Look, I don't care. I don't care if it is in new resolution. I don't care if it's running at 60 or 30. I don't give a fuck. The fact of the matter is that the gameplay is identical. So if I already played that game, I'm not buying it again. Which is the reason why that if I had a PS4 and Xbox One right now, I would not have a reason to buy because I already played it last generation. So I don't
See,
even play
Yeah.
it
you're
again.
killing me because I've never been one to really be
Double
big
dip.
on HD remakes at all.
Nope.
I probably have about 2 or 3 of them that are older games that
There
I
was only
did
one
not play
game.
the original, but
Good.
I kind of want to check that game out. It's been on my mind. I'm like, ooh, how would my cars look with no more like jaggies all over?
There's one game, there's one HD collection that I got last generation, and that was the Metal Gear Solid HD one. Before that big collection one came out, I got it for one reason, because I never got a chance to play Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater back on the PS2. That game was never rented. That game was never in my local video store. Like some guy literally just picked up and just one day and rented it out and literally stole that fucking game. So I finally got a chance to play it. I beat it in one sitting. That game was masterful. The story was incredible. The game was amazing. But that was the only one that I played. I didn't play Substance because I thought Substance, I've already been there, played that, and I don't really want to have to walk around again seeing and riding. Okay. Not only that, freaking yeah. So I beat that game. I played it, and I loved it. I thought it was a phenomenal game. Beat it in one sitting, and then I just got rid of it at the very next day because I didn't really give two flying shits, to be honest. I didn't really care.
I have an ethical question. When is it okay to get a remake of a game? Because, like, come to think of it, like, I bought Resident Evil 4 for GameCube, bought it again on Wii.
Yep.
Same thing with Wind Waker, you know, and
But-
just like...
To answer that question right now for you, Wind Waker is a prime example of when you do a proper remake.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
10
but
years. 10 years.
But Maurice, even diving deeper into that, that's really based on you, because for
Yeah.
some people they're really gonna like the HD remakes. For other people, it's really
Yeah,
not for them. So
that's
that's
true.
really a question you got to answer for yourself, because it's you know, it's really up to you whether you think the HD remake is worth it or not. You know, it's up to you whether you think that.
That goes back to trying
The Resident Evil
to
HD
dictate.
remake looks amazing.
The Resident Evil HD remake looks fine, but again, I played on the GameCube. I bought it a long time ago when I had my original Wii. I played the Archives edition. It's the same game. I don't care how it looks now. I mean, honestly, to me personally, after seeing like screenshots and even video clips of it, it looks like they took the blacks and they crushed the crap out of them now. The game looks way too fucking dark in a lot of areas. I'm not really a fan of that. But it's the exact same game that I played like 15 years ago on the GameCube, or like, no, not 15 years ago, like 10 years ago on the GameCube, and just last generation on the Wii itself. I don't need an HD port to do it.
Well, that's the thing. People think that they are going to be getting a new experience because
Yeah.
they think, oh, it's going to
Well, no,
look
don't
so
be wrong.
much
I mean, I'm
different.
glad that they finally gave the PS4 or Sony fans and Xbox fans a reason to want to go out and buy it. Because a lot of people never played on a GameCube. A lot of people never owned a GameCube. Same goes with the Wii. People had the Wii, but they didn't give a shit. Remember, that was a console that was locked away in people's closets like 2 years in after Mario Galaxy 1 came out. They never touched it for like fucking 3 or 4 years. So I understand why people, and I'm glad that Capcom was smart to finally, you know, get that off there and whatever you want to call it. People are like, oh, we use that version. Who cares? Buy the archive version and get the same experience.
And actually,
in HD, who fucking gives a shit?
and actually, I do have to say that I did pass on several Grand Theft Autos before this one, so it was also a thought of me, because I was like, okay, you know, I mean, I was just getting, I don't know, I guess you would say tired of just, you know, doing the same crime, you know, thing. So I took some time off. I took some time off, and then my friends kept going, get it. So I was like, okay, I'll pick it up. Fine. And they're like,
That is a peer pressure game right there. That's what it is.
Game.
That's why everyone bought it. Peer pressure.
What, Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah.
Fuck it. I bought it because I was excited for the online, and then when I got into the online for GTA 5, and I was completely let down, and I was like, dude, you crafted... From going from 4 to Red Dead Redemption, like they crafted the online in Red Dead beautifully. I had so much fun just going around and killing like animals, go in the woods and freaking kill a bear and shit like that by myself.
Red
When
Dead,
GTA 5 came out, I
Red
was
Dead
so
is what
pissed.
gave me like so much more respect for Rockstar personally.
Yeah.
That's just me.
And I thought they were going to carry that over with GTA 5, and I was like, dude, if they can actually take what they made awesome about Red Dead, but incorporate new things you could do in GTA 5 for its online, for people that just want to run around and do their own thing, I'm down for that. And when I got in there, I was playing it, and I was just like, this is fucking boring as hell.
Yeah, it's Red Dead
What would you
really
guys
had
do?
those relationships. That's what was really good about it.
Hey,
Yeah.
y'all remember them standoffs they used to have on Red Dead before you start
Oh,
the multiplayer match?
That
That's
was
cool.
awesome, man. I missed that game. Red Dead Redemption was such an incredible Rockstar game back then, dude. Oh, I love that game. Hell, even though LA Noire wasn't done by them, but at least they published it. I fucking played the crap out of that game. Most people are like, oh, just a tech demo. Look, if you're not a person who's into detective type games, you're not gonna like it. You have to be into that kind of experience in order to really get a kick out of that game. And I love detective games, so that game was freaking incredible for what it was. I mean, yeah, the facial structure shit was awesome for what they did, but the play stood out for me because I actually felt like I was an actual detective going around solving crime. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
you know, it's kind of like the way I feel about what is that, Red Faction. You know, if
Yeah,
you're not a fan of that series, you're not going to know what's so good about it. Like if you haven't grown up with Red Faction, you're probably not going to have the same feelings that I
What's
have
Red
for
Faction?
Red Faction.
Good point, 'cause they're all very different, I think.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I'm talking about the way they're all different in terms of story, but they're I don't know, like especially this newest one, right? This newest one was more open world. Yeah, it was more open world. Yeah, Red Faction Guerrilla. It
No,
was more
Gorilla
open.
was the second newest, I believe. And there
Yeah, that
another
was
one
it.
after
There was
that.
another one that came out
The
after.
Gorilla was.
Yeah.
What the hell is not to like about smashing any damn thing you want in the
Yeah.
environment with a hammer?
Yeah, that's what
Just
sold me on that game. I
deconstructing
had more
buildings.
fun. It's like, this building's gone.
Yeah.
I was an engineering student. I was just blown
So
away. I was
fucking
like,
satisfying.
oh, this is.
Yeah, they're still the only ones that I see doing something like that. You know, my biggest thing was the way the environments interacted with the enemies too. Like if you blew a building up and it fell on enemies, they die. Like it was, you know, it wasn't like they just survived everything falling on them. You know, like a lot of games. You
That
know,
game was batshit crazy GTA on the moon. Or on Mars.
Yeah.
Mars, sorry.
Yeah.
Being able to jump in space, fucking, yeah, motherfucker.
It was great. It was a great experience. I enjoyed it. I thought the story was a little weak, you know, weaker than past Red Factions,
Oh, yeah.
but I enjoyed it.
I mean, like,
Oh, so I like two too. How you could like battle your friends and you could kind of like carve out a base at this one part.
Yeah.
And then go
that
across.
shit was
It was like
awesome.
American Gladiators when you're running across. It's cool.
You know,
That was
or
a wicked game.
another perfect example of a series that you have to like be into to actually get it is Red Alert. Like Red
Yes.
Alert, even on Red Alert games. The Red Alert games. If you're not a fan of like strategy and stuff like that, you're not. That's another one that
you're
you
not
have to
gonna
be.
grasp
That
it,
would have been
yeah.
good on the Wii U.
Dude, if EA was fucking smart, man, they should have released the entire fucking Command and Conquer collection that they released on PC a while back, dude. I would have bought that in a fucking heartbeat, dude, because the goddamn Wii U would be like, there's only one game that exists right now, but it's only in Japan. Fucking goddamn.
What I enjoyed about the Red Alert series was mixing an actual movie with the game. That is what I loved. I was like, dude, now that is freaking cool. Like, you know, when they had all those different, they weren't played out in like cinematics. They were played out in actual people talking on a screen to you. You know, so
Yeah, like when Command and Conquer 3 Red Alert.
yeah.
First time I saw Kurd Russian mob do the game was just like, this is good, awesome.
Yeah.
Earthian too as well. God.
You know what and it was funny. This is completely off topic, but I wanted to talk about something that I'd like to see remastered. I was thinking about it the other day. I don't remember what the damn game is called, but it's a game where you get like you get robots, you get to operate helicopters, you get to operate.
Warriors.
It might be, but I don't think it was called that. I think it was like
Were they robots or mechs?
They were like mechs, yeah. They were like mechs, but you also had different missions where you have helicopters. You have, you know, it's.
I think I remember it. I just can't.
Yeah, I can't think of the name right now. Otherwise, I'd bring it up. But I if that game was remade, I'd be sold on any console. I would go out and get it right away because it was done so well. But
I liked games like Jackal. That was cool.
yeah.
Oh, okay. So I have a question for everyone that's in here.
Okay.
I don't think we've ever actually touched on this. Maybe you guys have when I wasn't in here, but the last 2 times I have been in here, I didn't hear anybody talk about this. I want to know, are you guys big fans of video game music by chance?
Yes.
Okay, because that is life for me, man. Like any game that has the game could be shit, but if it has an amazing soundtrack, I will continue to play it. I don't care because
I agree.
video game music to my ear holes is like orgasms, if that makes sense. I don't know, but anyway. So I want to ask, I want to ask all of you, everyone that's in here, and I'll do mine afterwards. About like what's your favorite video game soundtrack of all fucking time?
We can do it quickie for sure. But it's hard to say. I mean, like this is something that we almost have to go and think about because there are quite a few really good ones that you can compare.
Yeah.
And like how many?
I mean, I can give you like a whole entire
I
list.
have mine. Mine's
Do you
far
wanna-
and away Ocarina of Time. Song of Storms is my favorite song. And
Ocarina of Time, very cliche.
Song of Storms. That's the
That
song.
soundtrack was good though. That soundtrack was amazing, man. I mean, that's the thing. Nintendo crafts some fucking incredible tunage, man. It drives me up a fucking wall.
I'm gonna try my best to give you guys next podcast for me because I gotta
All right,
think
no,
of
that's fine.
something big time.
That's
Like,
cool.
It didn't
Yeah,
take
'cause
you long to think about
because
it.
I feel that nobody really ever really talks about it or appreciates the the amazing pieces that you hear in video game music, even all the way down to like the NES all the way up till now. You never see anybody ever fucking talk about how good the music is for specific games.
I'll give you.
This is
Yeah.
For Ag, real quick, how much do you like that Persona soundtrack? To be honest, like,
Never heard of it.
Oh, Persona is dope, man. All
Yeah,
that music
I
on
don't
Persona
know.
is dope.
Jazzy.
Like I rock Naruto's Secret Truth in my like intro all the time. That gets me amped up every time I hear that song. Ugh.
The reason why I brought it up was because Marcellus, you put in the chat there Red Steel 2 with a question mark on it, and that's the reason why I brought this topic up, because everyone hates Red Steel 1, and for good reasons, of course. But the soundtrack to that game, to what Ubisoft has done with the soundtrack to the original Red Steel, just blows me away, because some of the pieces that are crafted in that game is the main reason why I fucking love the first Red Steel game. I mean, yeah, the swordplay is trash, like Fisher-Price trash, but at the same time, like the gunplay was amazing for that game, but the soundtrack is what kept me fucking playing it and even going back for more. It's that good of a soundtrack, man. It's fucking amazing.
Well, see, but then you have to also take into account there's also soundtracks that are based more for ambiance. Like, okay, I would say Alien Isolation. I'm so glad that it won.
Yep.
I'm so glad that it won Best Sound at GDC, because I was like, dude, this game is getting no love, and that soundtrack is what makes you do anything in the game. Like, it makes you hide for 10 minutes without actually there being an alien anywhere near you, because when it really picks up and then it goes back down and then it picks up and goes back down, it really makes the ambiance. And then you also have games like, Final Fantasy, where it's not really ambiance, it's more of a very melodic, very, it's very nice, it's very sweet, but it's not for ambiance. It's just there to add to the game. So it really depends on
it's
what...
funny that you bring up Final Fantasy, because like with me, 13, everyone hates that game, and I understand as to why. But the soundtrack to that though had a lot of amazing set pieces, man, in that fucking game. Especially the battle tune. The more you get into battles, that song literally drills into your skull, man.
Yep.
That song. Next thing you know, you take a shit, you start humming that song when you're pooping, man. It's amazing.
I don't want to keep this.
Like there's a difference in between orchestration and tone. So, like, for something like horror movies, just horror in general as a genre, it's like skill. Like, I like it to be like low key and like soft. So, like, whenever I can hear a pin drop, it just causes that suspense. But whenever I'm like playing like a large scale game, like an RPG or whatnot, I love the orchestration, the trumpets and whatnot. And yeah, for some reason, like Nintendo's able to pull off like with like MIDI, like still having some form of orchestration. So that's kind of why I just went with Ocarina of Time personally.
Yeah.
I will give one quick shout out to the soundtrack of Nier, how it really hit me emotionally, but also and got me hooked, but it also was memorable, and like I couldn't get it out of my head afterwards either. It sticks with you.
You know what
That's a good one.
my most favorite soundtrack of all time is? I was saying I could do this easy. Sonic 3.
Oh,
Real talk.
yeah.
That's hand down to me the best soundtrack ever.
Sonic 3 was definitely pretty good. It had a lot of catchy tunes up in that biatch, man. Holy crap!
And
Yeah.
a lot of people don't know that Michael Jackson composed all the music.
Yeah, he did.
for it.
He
yeah.
did,
Wow.
but his name was never credited, man, for obvious reasons. But you can clearly tell that there was a lot of inspiration from MJ on that shit, dude. That's why it sounded so fucking good.
I mean,
My
man,
God, dude, like
I was
shit.
blown away when I first got that when I was little, man.
Yeah, it's the same thing too as well. Like I have like the entire collection of all the Super Nintendo SPCs on my PC, so I just click on a game and then boom, the soundtrack pops up in my Winamp, man, and I just chill and listen to that amazing
That's
shit.
dope.
You know what I mean? That stuff, man. But yeah, we'll have to do that. Fucking make a little segment on that for next podcast. There, will flow, man. Because I feel that video game music is very underappreciated nowadays. Nobody ever
Yeah.
talks about that shit anymore.
I will give you mine. I also have a really big video plan that has to do with video game music.
I want to do
but-
that too as well. I want to resume my VG picks or Bears VG picks that I used to do a while back too as well. 'Cause there's so many amazing songs out there, dude. Like it's disgusting, man. How many of these games like the song soundtrack sucks for this game? Like, dude, you're an idiot.
I'm hyping my channel up because I got something that's really creative coming up, but it's
Sweet,
gonna be
sweet.
a
I look
while.
forward to that, man. I look forward to
take
that.
my time. But
You know, this is your podcast, Wolf. You're allowed to hype your channel.
now it's
Should I
time
give my
for-
channel some exposure? This is on my channel. Fuck it, let's give me some exposure.
So I'm gonna let you guys hype up your channels and then let's call it a wrap.
All right, man.
So starting with who? Me?
I guess AG to God.
Well, it's your boy AG the guy, you know what I mean? Come stop by, check out my channel. Do a lot of fighting games, a lot of the commentary, you know what I mean? Just hit me up.
Excellent.
Next.
Who is next? Me?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I'm sorry. Yeah. You know, I'm your boy Bearhugger29. Thank you very much, there, Wolflo, for letting me on your podcast tonight, man. I love doing these things when we talk about games. That's what it's all about. Check out my channel. It's Bearhugger29. I do a lot of like news articles and whatnot. Do some bear plays and whatnot. We will be doing another bear play tonight with the Mario vs. Donkey Kong Tipping Stars. I just got done downloading that bitch. I'm also going to be doing a contest tonight on my own podcast to give away the 3DS version of the game tonight. But yeah, I do some. I do a lot of rants. People love my rants and shit like that. Check me out, man. And yeah, make sure you guys sub to everyone that's in here too as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it. Do it now. So
Chopper.
Kickshot.
All right, this is Zero Ink from the Kickshaw Brothers. I do a lot of commentaries. We're going to have more bloopers coming up. We're going to have I'm actually starting a new series called Platinum Grades, and I'm going to grade the Platinums that I get. I've just recently gained like 4 more. I'm an achievement hunter. What can I say? I'm going to be doing more reviews and just keep it gaming, man. I'm going to be as neutral as I can be with all the consoles. So yeah, just come by if you want a neutral channel that's not about the console wars, guys.
Amen to that, brother. Amen to that. That's why I'm glad I subbed to you.
I'll give you my input on the whole achievement thing. That's cool. I really like that prospect of achievement channels. But go ahead, Maurice.
What's up, Maurice Charles? Put in the name. You know the name. I love every one of these guys, no homo. I actually made a response video for Bear Hugger. It's actually uploaded right now. It is about speculation versus theory, and if you dig into it a little bit, it is why I have a hypothesis, a scientific hypothesis, that Star Wars Battlefront will be coming to the Wii U. Everyone here has objective and wonderful commentary. Please like, comment, and subscribe to them. They are the truth. They love gaming, and I love them.
Awesome, man.
Awesome. Right on. Thanks, bro. I appreciate that.
I appreciate that, man.
Pass
Right
it
on.
on to Thuggy right here.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Thuggy Plus. You can check my channel out. It's Thuggy with the plus sign. Yeah, I do first impressions, and I basically just talk about games that I'm interested in. So go and check me out.
You're just gaming, man.
Yeah, I'll have to get your channel and post it on the side when this is done so I can sub to you, bro.
Yep.
All right. Well, I guess I'm gonna call it a wrap. You know who this is, so.
Oh yeah, just real quick. My video is not a beef video. It's not. I just hate how people turn this stuff into, oh, it's exposing people. It's exposing people. No.
Yeah.
No, man. It's all love. It's all gaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, catch us next time. Everybody take care. Thanks for watching again.
Peace
Yeah.
out.
Later.
Peace.